All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Holler Podcast, first episode of season 2. It's good to be back. It's been a long time without you gentlemen, and I'm glad we're back again. My name is Stephen Borbell. I'm the driver of the number 2 Ford Mustang for Next Level Motorsports, and I am joined by my co-hosts. Carl, go ahead and get us started.
Hey guys, this is Carl Pooler, driver of the Limitless Esports number 71 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, and on the opposite side is Richard. Richard, say hi to the folks.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Richard Wolfsfer here, driver of the number 56 Stintz-built Chevrolet for Limitless Esports.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming back for a season 2. I didn't know if y'all would be coming back with how many jokes played on y'all, or if y'all hurt your feelings from racing last season, but glad to have you guys back for this upcoming season that kicks off tomorrow.
I thought we didn't have a choice.
Well, you're getting paid.
Y'all getting paid?
But no, I'm excited to get racing again with y'all tomorrow. So tomorrow we go to Daytona for our season opener, the Sundance Pizza 250, 100 laps. Do y'all have what the stages are offhand?
It'll be 25, 25, and 50.
So stage 1 will end at lap 25, stage 2 will end at lap 50, and then we run the last 50 laps to lap 100 at the end.
Awesome.
What is going on?
It's a mess right now, honestly.
I have a struggling Steven over here.
My life is a mess.
Right?
Just moved into the new house, and everything's just not set up right. It's not how I liked it, but do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the podcast and the league. Obviously, we have Butt Kicker, the leader in haptics, Sundance Pizza, Ascendance Trucks, and Ideal Lease. So excited to have them on and allow us to do what we love to do so much. But what have y'all been up to this off season? Have y'all been racing? Have you been taking a break? Getting into anything new?
I think Richard and I are involved in a Wednesday night league. I think Gavin and Jared have joined as well. So we've got that going on.
How long has that been going on for you guys?
This is week 4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's week 4.
Because it was Daytona, then Kentucky, Martinsville, and then we're going to Long Beach on Wednesday.
That will be interesting.
Yes.
Yes,
it will.
Next gens.
Yes.
Yes, it is the next gen car.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they switched over from the Gen 4. The Gen 4 they ran for 2 seasons, and it was it was something. It was something.
So you wouldn't support us switching to Gen 4?
No. No, I would not. If Adam came up and said, "Hey, we're running Gen 4 now, guys," I'm like, I support you, Adam, but I'm not racing.
That's fair. Good deal. Richard, anything new with you?
Man, not much. I mean, I've been doing racing here and there. I've been fighting some health issues, so that's been a lot of fun. But I mean, nothing really new going on. Just kind of did some racing here and there, just to kind of buy the time. Just waiting for this to start back up, man. I had a blast last season. We got a really good group of base, a really good base of drivers from season 1, and a lot of them carried over back to season 2.
Yep.
Got a lot of new drivers coming in as well. Of course, we're always looking for more. So, yeah, I'm looking forward, man. I miss racing with everybody, miss talking with everybody. So it's gonna be good to get our weekly groups back together.
Couldn't agree more. So I guess we can just jump right into it. Let's give a little quick recap of season 1, and I need to quit playing with this knife.
What did you just do? What happened?
So
what did I miss?
This knife, it's a knife I got for Christmas a couple years ago. It has my name on it. And earlier I was cutting open the box and I broke the spring on it. So now it just it's not supposed to bend like that, right?
Yeah, no.
And just popped it open and cut my palm. But we'll be good.
Oh, great. So both drivers from Next Level Motorsports are both injured for tomorrow. Got it.
Yeah, we'll be fine though. I mean, gotta find something to slow us down, and it still won't slow us down. But
nah, you guys are
this guy.
We can deal with you guys now.
We'll see. I will say you're the team that I'm not worried about, or you're not the team. Let me rephrase that. You're not.
Yeah,
the team
you better rephrase that.
That I am worried about.
I feel like we have a lot to prove this season. There's a lot of times Richard with his win at Eldora last season. I feel like we are one of the teams that we have something to prove this
Now
season.
let's see it on asphalt. Or
I
concrete,
know,
or turning right and left.
right?
I mean, who knows there? But to get into it, so last season, our champion was Gavin Rogers. Dominated all season, ended up with 9 or 10 wins. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but either 9 or 10. Is now going part-time and will focus on the Road to Pro series for professional iRacing. So big shout out to him. He has been nothing but instrumental in, I know, my development, Adam's development. I'm sure a majority of the people in the league can say the same. He's going to be missed as a full-time driver for sure, and especially in the team. It's going to be tough going into some weeks without having his little practice insight. But it will create some interesting scenarios of now who's going to win the road courses, now who's going to win other tracks that he was going to win. It opens up the door for a lot of drivers, which is good, but he would definitely be missed. So we had some award winners since our last show from season 1, and just wanted to cover the top 3 awards. We had the most consistent driver being Gavin Rogers, and just to give everyone a background, these awards were voted on by all of the drivers individually, and you couldn't vote on yourself. So it's basically just the best way we could have done it. So Gavin won the most consistent driver. Dustin Stallings was our most improved driver, and our most popular driver was Patrick Hernandez. Which,
I fucking hate this track.
yeah, exactly. Patrick is a hoot.
A hoot and a half for sure.
Let's see if I do not have that picture ready to go.
So, but yeah, I mean, to touch on Gavin, man, his skill is just unbelievable, and we have all tried to push him to attempt Road to Pro. Obviously, he's not doing it this season,
right?
Because it's already started. You know, it's like there's no chance for him to make the contender series or whatever. But he is going to be working on more the official races to up his iRating, because his iRating does not reflect his skill at all right now, by any means. So he's going to be working really hard on the officials, getting his iRating up, and then at the beginning of next year, he's got a lot of support from us already. I know a few of us said that if he needs spotters or people to help him out, we're willing to help him out. I've actually talked to him about potentially helping him out with the getting the setups for him. No, we full support Gavin. We fully believe that guy can make it through Road to Pro and get into eNASCAR. Like he's got the skill. It's there. He just needs the extra practice and the oomph to get to it.
Most definitely. So wanted to go over our schedule real quick this season. Unfortunately, I don't have the graphic ready to be pulled up. However, we'll go race by
Slacker.
race. Yeah, a little slacker today. Been struggling. I'm the
Blame
reason,
the in-laws.
I'm the reason we were late. So tomorrow, again, every Tuesdays again this season, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern is the standard time. And this week we start off at Daytona. Then we head out to Richmond, which is a big change up from Daytona, followed by Legacy, Texas, which I am super excited about for the next-gen car. We're going to have to figure out something regarding the setup.
Real
for
quick,
Legacy,
Carl,
Texas.
that's what it was. It was Legacy, Texas. It wasn't Kentucky.
Carl seems puzzled.
I thought I
Wednesday
said
week. No, it was Legacy, Texas on Wednesday. We didn't race Kentucky. We raced Legacy, Texas.
I could have sworn I said Texas.
I heard you say
Who
Legacy,
knows?
Texas at some point.
That's what I thought too.
I don't know. Either way. After Legacy, Texas, we head to a flat track in New Hampshire, and then back to our favorite road course, Chicago Street Course,
Hey-yo!
which will line up closely to the real-life Chicago Street Course. It may be a week after, but pretty close. Then
Still lines up for the hype, though. So.
yeah, exactly. It'll fit right in line. Then we head to Legacy, Atlanta. Last year we did regular Atlanta Superspeedway, current Atlanta Superspeedway, and we head back to Legacy Atlanta, which is something like a Legacy Texas, a little bit more worn out, and a little bit quicker and slicker. But followed by Kentucky, which will be interesting. So there's your Kentucky, Richard. And then a track that I did not enjoy a couple seasons ago, Iowa. Flat, short track. But it'll be interesting. Hopefully we can do it at night. I think they have lights.
Actually, I think so. I remember doing broadcasting a charity event in Iowa, and this was 2 or 3 years ago. But I do
Yeah.
believe that was at night.
I would hope
do
so
think
then.
they have.
So we'll see about that. And then our one of the crown jewels of this season, Indy Oval, follows Iowa, followed by our dirt race, which I believe is still yet to be determined where exactly.
Eldora.
Okay,
We're gonna go back to Eldora. We just feel the track provides really good racing.
Yep.
The handling of the car was great with the setup from Team Conti. Me and Jared, we tested other tracks, and I mean, there's other tracks that could work, but Eldora just seemed to fit. So we're going back to Eldora.
Eldora was a fun time, and it's just perfect. We don't need to change anything up and panic. At some dirt tracks, it makes it even more difficult than others, especially for the next gen. But then we head off to 3 weeks left in the regular season after the dirt race, which are Chicagoland, Bristol, and Auto Club is the regular season finale. Auto Club is an interesting regular season finale, but I feel like it's a good substitute other than like a super speedway of like how NASCAR does it. But then we get into the playoffs. We start off with Las Vegas, followed by the Roval, Talladega, Martinsville, the next to last week, and then Charlotte is the finale. I feel like Charlotte's a great finale track to have. I don't know. I like the schedule this year. It's similar to last year. It's very challenging. It's very difficult.
It's all over the
Different
place.
tracks.
Also,
It
which
is.
nice.
It is so all over the place, especially the playoffs the chase. Is we really try to hit every discipline of next gen driving. You have a mile and a half. You have a road course. You have a super speedway. You have a short track, and then you have just a mile and a half cookie cutter for all purposes. But it's Charlotte. It's anyone can race there. I think it'll be very interesting to see how this season develops. Is there a certain race that y'all are looking forward to the most, more than others?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the street course in Chicago. I had a
Yeah.
blast when we did that. Obviously, we're talking about Long Beach, and it's just something about the street courses for me. I feel like there's no room for error. There's no room for forgiveness. There's no runoff. If you miss your corner, you're hitting a wall. You're bending a link. You're blowing an engine. And so I just feel like under those kind of conditions, I race a little bit better, in my opinion.
I remember that you and I had a little scuffle, per se, after the street course. That was a
Oh
good time,
man, that was what? There was 7 laps to go.
if even.
I'm going, if even. I mean, we were close. We were both fighting for what did I want to say, like 6th, 7th,
I think I
something like
finished
that.
7th, so I would assume it was for 7th.
Yeah, and next thing I know, we're going into this second to last or the last corner. I get this bump from this Stephen Borbell guy who I didn't even know at the time, and I was so upset because I saw you in my mirror and I was like, I know he's there, and I saw you peek a couple times, and I would just close the door, and then I don't know. I mean, obviously it was a mistake, but next thing I know, I'm getting sent around. I'm like, what did I do? If you just waited one corner, you would
I
have had to
think
run.
That was the thing. It was like those street courses. It makes it hard to pass too, and I had run out of patience. I think at that point, and because I believe it was coming to, it was the last corner, if I believe correct.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's either the second last or that last corner.
Yeah, and it's just so tight there, and not that I intentionally spun you by any means, and we're not trying to start
debatable.
crying over. Okay. I digress. Richard, is there a race you're looking forward to?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to default to it just because I won it last season, and I want to kind of maintain that dirt road or dirt racing dominance. Eldora. I'm a huge dirt racing fan, and the fact that NASCAR took the next gens to Dirt Bristol, and I actually really enjoyed watching Dirt Bristol. I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was a blast to watch. And I've always thought, the trucks raced at Eldora. I think the cup cars, honestly, in real life would do fantastic on Eldora. And I had a blast. Jared was, he gave up a huge fight for that win. I mean, it was definitely really hard to pass, unless you did it perfect. I mean, he had good slide jobs on me. I had good slide jobs on him, but just getting that one good restart, that's all I needed, was one good restart to finally get the lead. But yeah, I don't know. Eldora is what I'm overly, extremely looking forward to. But aside from that, just because I won it last season, I'd have to say Indy Oval.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being from Indiana, it's such a legendary track. It's just well known throughout the entire racing community, and the fact that the Cup cars are going back to the Brickyard this year, and we're going to it, it's so exciting to see the Brickyard being used again.
Very excited for all those. Definitely Indy. I know there have been some concerns of us getting a little spread out at Indy. I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen with the next gen at Indy, because I've never driven it at Indy. But
so when I first got back into iRacing, the Wednesday league that Carl and I they used to race on Saturdays.
Okay.
And I joined that league when I got back into iRacing and raced with Limitless, and they went, their season opener, I believe, was at Indy that season.
Interesting.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And like I said, I had just came back into iRacing. I hadn't had a lot of practice or anything. I was just getting all my licenses up and my iRating up. I ended up, out of a 37 car field, I ended up qualifying 6th at Indy in the next gen car. And I was like, how the hell did I do that? So,
all right. Have you raced since then there?
I haven't raced it since then, no.
And back then, Richard was a worse wrecking ball than he is now. He took out both of his teammates
believe.
that week.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe. I've seen him do the same thing, though, last season.
Oh,
then again,
man.
He didn't have 2 teammates to take out. He only had 1.
I just gotta.
Thanks,
give him
Carl.
crap for that. You're welcome. Anytime, buddy.
He likes to take me out on super speedways.
Hey, you know what? You already took me out in practice, so I guess we're getting more and more even.
Excuse me. So now with the schedule aside, we can go into our new look rosters / roster. And I have it broken down over teams. And thank you for correcting me earlier during my draft stages, Richard, for making sure that Limitless was correct. But again, I was just going off of what Adam had. And this is a little stab to Adam of having it wrong. So, but I'll start off with Next Level Motorsports. We got Adam Buzzio, myself, Gavin Rogers, who will be part-time, and our newest addition, Jamie Plord. We're really excited about Jamie being on the team. Great guy, shows a lot of talent. I've known him for several seasons now. I mean, back to my original league in iRacing I ran, and he's been a good guy, so excited to have him with us. And over at Limitless, if y'all want to go ahead and tell me y'all's roster, I'll let y'all share that.
Yeah, so Limitless roster did expand their team by 2 drivers this season. Carl and I are still, main drivers for it, but Mason Hossman and Nick Renner will be joining us as 2 extra drivers. So we will have a 4-man team this season. So that's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be a lot of help on the super speedways. So Mason and Nick are very aggressive drivers. So we'll. What are you laughing about?
I'm
just gonna softball it in like that, huh?
I'm
Hey,
praying for y'all to if you
saying,
can reel them in and
hold
keep
on.
them calm.
Well, that's the thing we're gonna try. Okay, I don't mind aggressive driving. Me and Carl are a little bit more conservative, so it brings a whole new aspect to the Limitless team, and I don't mind that at all. It's when words get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm worried about.
What's gonna happen tomorrow at Daytona when one of y'all wreck into the other one, or vice versa, or
Yeah, thanks for jinxing this now, Steven. Appreciate it.
We're hoping that won't happen.
Well,
I mean,
hoping
Carl
is...
and I. Hold on. Well, Carl and I have had other teammates that kind of like to drive by themselves. so they don't like to work with a team. I'm hoping that Mason. I think Mason will follow with me and Carl very well. I think the only one we're gonna have to reel in a little bit is maybe Nick, but I have faith he's going to follow with the team.
Chat clip that.
The chat clip that. But no, I'm excited. I mean, it's gonna be nice to have some more teammates, like actual teammates out there. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's exciting time.
No, it's definitely
You know,
exciting.
the hardest part with new teammates at a super speedway, everyone says super speedway, it's easy, blah blah blah. Yes, it's easy in a sense, but if you want to go fast, if you want to be good at it, it takes skill, it takes some practice, it takes a lot of teamwork to make sure everyone's working together. With two extra teammates, we don't really know how everyone races around each other. Rich and I are pretty well versed with how we like to race the super speedways, but with Mason and Nick, it's gonna add a different dynamic to it. It's gonna be interesting to say the least. So it's that
And
excited, anxious level.
I will say Mason, he is very aggressive, but I also think he will work with the team really well because in which race was I think it was Talladega, he decided to race last season. And he was very aggressive with his side drafting, his passing and stuff like that, but when he stuck with his teammates, he stuck with them. So so that was good to see.
And
so
Mason's
it's
very talented. Not
Oh, he
trying to take
definitely
anything
is.
away from Nick, but Mason is very talented, and it's if he can keep it focused, essentially.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing about me and Carl is Carl and I, we do drive very similar together, and we both keep each other cool-headed pretty much throughout the race. So I think if me and Carl, you know, being that we do have the years on these two, like a good 10 plus years on both of them,
Yeah.
like we can reel in their emotions, keep them calm, keep them thinking straight for this race so we don't make, you know, unnecessary moves when we don't need to.
That's a good way to look at it. I mean, I do think of your point of you and Carl being more conservative drivers and them being more aggressive. I do see your point that would help balance out or get y'all as a team something you didn't have last year or last season. And a 4-car team is so beneficial, especially at drafting tracks, but just you hear differing strategies. It's just one extra voice you get to hear, and yes, there's a point to where one extra voice may make it cloudy, more voices, but it just gets more opportunities to have the winning strategy, or whatever the case may be. But
There's
excited to
more
see.
perspectives, and
Yeah.
it brings more experience. How great or little it is brings more experience at the table that you can learn off of.
And I'm totally always for more perspectives is better. I don't have to listen to them, but I like to at least hear it. So
Yeah.
so then moving on to our next team, we have Redline Motorsports, and I apologize if I pronounce any names incorrect for people I'm not familiar with or haven't really gotten to know yet, but just want to give a quick heads up on that. But Redline Motorsports, we have Evan Patinko, Zachary King, and Dakota
Belai.
Belai.
I think that's misspelled. I think it's Blay or Bly because it's Bleigh in the.
Oh, is it
Discord.
misspelled in the?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Again, I was going based off the roster sheet, so Adam.
Adam
it,
fails
Adam.
again.
Damn it.
That's 2 strikes
Strike
for
2.
Adam.
But so that's a new team, and I know they're Fords. So more Fords, and actually, if
As if we
I'm wrong,
needed
I think
more
that's the only other
Fords.
Ford team. But then our next team is 2120 Racing with David Hall, Matt Erickson, and Chad Bean. Glad to
Oh,
have
man,
Chad back.
I'm excited to have Butta back, man. He's such a good guy. It's gonna be fun watching him.
Definitely. I'll go on to Southern Mafia, which is Rusty Sanchez, Matthew Corder, and Ronnie Prickett. I believe Ronnie's a new face here as well, which is good to see. Carl, you
Yeah, it's good to
fact-checking me?
see. It's good to see Matthew Corder and Rusty Sanchez coming back. I'm hoping they can. I'm hoping they can show up to more races. I know Matthew Corder. He did not like missing as many races as he did last season,
Right.
and that's mainly because of work. So I know he said he's going to make a harder effort to make more races this season because I think he could definitely make it into the chase at the end of the season.
Definitely. And then this was the team I was alluding to earlier. Not necessarily saying I'm worried about this team, but they are a very talented and fun team on paper. And that is Maverick Motorsports, Brendan Maddox, Dustin Stallings, Jared Hughes, and Patrick Hernandez. So you have two drivers, Dustin Stallings and Patrick Hernandez, who won Most Popular Driver and Most Improved Driver. And Dustin has improved tremendously. I mean, granted, when he first came with us last season, he came in, I believe, at Charlotte. He had tons of speed. He was running top 5, top 3, and then his internet cut out. And that happened a lot for him last season, which unfortunately didn't get him results that he deserved. He was snake bitten at Miami, leading that race over me, and had a little issue on pit road and just stuff like that. I fully expect to see him win this season, if not multiple times. That team has just so much upside I see on paper. I'm really excited to see how they can perform. I know they get along really well together, and really excited to see what happens there.
Yeah,
I think that's the big three in teams. Is you got the next level, you have Maverick, and then Limitless. It's when we all get scrapping, because I know I'm always racing around Jared. I feel like always racing around Patrick, Brendan. It's gonna be just absolutely wild. Some of the scraps we get ourselves into.
Yeah, it'll be even more meaningful now.
And even some of the practice races we've already had in the off season, like we're all racing around each other and like keeping it fairly clean for the most part. I mean, but yeah, Maverick Motorsports, man, that's another powerhouse team right there. Dustin, yeah, he did phenomenal throughout the season last season. Just internet issues kept him from doing more.
Yep.
And I hope he can get that figured out for season 2. Jared, another great. He's more of your long run guy. He doesn't like his early speed isn't great, but he's planning for that long run. He always does it. He finds a way to make those tires last, and he's really quick in the long run. It's great to see. Patrick, man, he's fast. Patrick is fast.
He's a
but
wild
he gets
card.
in his head, man. If he could just get out of his head, I think he could do phenomenal. But that's why he's also, the fan or the driver favorite, like our favorite driver of the season. Like he was hilarious to listen to every race, man. He's like, oh, I hate this car. I hate this track. And he's not doing bad either. Like he's still in like the top 10 area. Like he's still doing decent.
Oh man. And a driver I want to talk about, we kind of glossed over, but Evan Patinko, he's been actually very vocal these past couple of weeks. He's ready to get going. Evan is very fast. Evan can be up there scrapping with the top 5 easy. Another one of those drivers where I always seem either he's behind me or right in front of me. So it's always another one of those drivers where he's always seems to be in the mix, no matter where that mix is. So I'm excited to see Evan get far into the playoffs this season. Not as far as me, hopefully, but far enough.
Stay out of our way, Evan.
I have nothing but good things to say about Evan as well. He's shown a lot of improvement and a lot of speed. Of like what you're saying, Carl. I always feel like he's riding around me on the track, and it's always a good time. Never had any dust ups with him really either. So all good things to say. But so that finishes out the actual teams, and then we have 4 free agents. What it seems like, free agents or just whatever, non-denominational drivers. That's what I'm gonna say to their ass. So we got Corey Moore, Richard Smith II, Jesse White, and Johnny Wood Jr. Unfortunately, I don't know much about any of them because I haven't really been around, unfortunately, lately. But y'all have anything about any of them? Or any insight?
I know Richard Smith. He's been out there. He's been talking in the Discord. He's going to be interesting because I feel like a lot of his views on some of the racing and stuff are different than the majority. So I'd like to see how he races and translates that on track.
Johnny Wood,
yeah, exactly.
Is fast.
Okay.
Johnny Wood is really fast. He's going to be a contender for wins for sure all season long. All 4 of these guys also brand new to the league. We're glad they came in and joined us. Richard Smith, yeah, he has been very talkative in the Discord. It's been great to see him talkative as well, being a new member. So, but yeah, Johnny Wood is going to be one to look out for season 2.
Good deal. I'm excited to see and get to know these guys over the next couple of weeks. That's the exciting thing about coming back to the season of even though I kind of took the whole off season off and was MIA most of it, and just getting back right into it tomorrow. It's getting back to the people that we already know, and then also getting to meet all the new guys is always my favorite part of the season. So excited for them. And before I get into the next thing, Richard, I would like you to give some insight to our new, I guess, in-season tournament of sorts this season.
Oh yeah. All right. So something that we're doing this season, guys, is what we call the BRB bonus brawl. If you are familiar with the Xfinity series and their Dash for Cash, it's going to be very similar to that. It is going to be I think it was like a 3-race tournament. If each driver pays an extra $5 if they want to be a part of it, and at the end of those 3 races in the regular season, the person with the most points, which it's going to be a very simplified point system. It's whoever's part of this bonus brawl. It's if there's 10 drivers, 10 points is the max points you can get. And that's just how it is. And it's not dependent on where you finish overall in the field. It's only dependent on where you finish against those drivers that are in the bonus brawl. That's all that matters. After the end of those 3 races, whoever has the most points gets the entire pot of that the money that everyone put in. So if 10 drivers joined, $5 each, $50 to the winner of this in-season tournament for the bonus brawl.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. When you came up with that idea of, I felt like I was in full support of just giving something else during the regular season to aspire for, or another award to win. It creates a little bit more rivalry in season and gets us through those dull moments that we can have in the season. I'm super excited for it. Even if there is only 10 drivers, hey, $50 is a good
$50
shot.
is $50, man.
Yeah.
That's still nice. For $5, you
That's
made
a
10
tank
times
of
the money.
gas. Woo!
I've done a lot worse things for $50, so I mean,
And I'm hoping also, this is the first rendition of it, okay? I'm hoping maybe at some time in another season, we can expand it to be like where it doesn't cost anybody anything.
right.
And it could be more exactly in line with what the Dash for Cash is, where it's like we select 5 or 6 drivers for this race, 5 or 6 drivers for the next race, 5 or 6 drivers for the next race. And it's just that race only. Like whoever wins of those 5 drivers, they get the money for that race. So eventually I want to evolve it into that, but we just kind of
Right.
wanted to see what the experiment would be, see how everyone would like it, and see how it plays out for this season.
Exactly. And hopefully soon, in the future, maybe not soon, but in the future that we can get it sponsored.
Oh, yeah.
And cover the cost of, even if it's just something minor, of $50, $50. It's not much to some of these companies. So it's hopefully something that we can get situated within the coming seasons, but super excited for it. Thank you for bringing that to the table and really taking that on. And when does that start for us this year?
Oh, I have to look again. I don't remember when the first race was for that.
No worries. It's fine. I'm sure we'll update people as we get closer to it. I know it's not anything immediate. It's several weeks, if not a couple months down the line.
Yeah, it's definitely a couple races into the season. I mean, obviously, I've been having a lot more important stuff going on in my life. I haven't been able to sit down and hash it out, but it's going to be within the first couple of weeks for sure. Not the season opener. No, I don't think it's going to be any special race or anything like that. But it's just kind of one of those off tracks.
Gotcha. Well, there are 2 things I would like to cover before we wrap up today. Since today's not really a full episode, it's more of just getting ready for the season tomorrow episode. We don't have last week's race to cover or anything like that. We only are looking forward this week. We're looking forward at 2 things. We're looking forward at this week, and we're looking forward at the full season as a whole. So with that, we do have our first race of the season tomorrow, the Sundance Pizza 250 at Daytona, June 11th, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern on Extreme Sim TV's YouTube channel. Yes, you heard that right. Our broadcaster this season, Extreme Sim TV. I have something here for him. It's not going to end up pulling up for me right now. But we'll get that information out on our socials as well for everyone to know where to find the streams. Stream links will be posted at the time of the races as well for everyone to follow with that. But just wanted to give a heads up on that. But with that being said, we did this every week last season of predicting who's going to win. This season we're actually going to track it and be ready for it and expand on it a little bit. keep me honest here. I don't remember, but I think I was the only one to guess one correct last season. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I think so. Well, I mean, if you guess Gavin Rogers, you're most likely going to get that one. So,
Well, I
there's that.
remember my call was Adam at Dover.
Yeah, that's right. And Adam did win
Did
that
anybody
one
call
in
me out at
dominating Finland.
Did any of you call me out at Eldora?
Maybe I really don't remember. That's the problem. I didn't even track. I just remembered calling
Oh,
Adam
you know
at
what?
Dover. So well,
Mhm.
forget it. Last season didn't happen.
Moving on.
We didn't keep track of it. Scratch it, new board.
New board. None of that happened. We're actually going to keep track of it this year and be on top of it. And if one of y'all win, I'll get y'all a little prize at the end of the season. We'll see what we do. Maybe I'll get y'all a drink or something. But with
I
that,
like whiskey.
well, you got expensive taste, my friend. I hope I win. But I'll start with Richard. I will let you pick first of who will win the Sundance Pizza 250 tomorrow.
Who will win the Sundance Pizza 250?
50.
Oh my gosh.
50 miles at Daytona.
250 miles.
No, you
at
said
Daytona.
50 at first. I was just going.
Shut up. Oh man, that's. Well, I know we don't have the one guy that likes to win every single super speedway with us, so wow. Dude, it's so hard to call super speedways.
Mhm.
It really is. I'm gonna have to go with Dustin Stallings.
Okay.
I feel like he can keep a pretty cool head for a super speedway race. I mean, he's been doing fantastic racing. You know, second half of the season for sure in season 1. So I feel like with his team with Maverick Motorsports, they've got a great team of that can work together really well. So I'm gonna pick Dustin Stallings for my pick for the Sundance Pizza 250.
Fair enough. Carl, what are you thinking?
Oh man, the thing is it's Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Daytona. You know what? I dropped his name earlier, and I'm just gonna double down. I'm gonna think Evan Patinko. Granted, they don't have the team. They don't have the 4-car team like you would like to see. But I'll be honest, if Evan is either behind me or in front of me, I'm gonna give him a push because that's a driver I can trust through a super speedway in the draft. So I think Evan is another cool-headed driver, has the skill, and is one of those. I mean, you don't have to be liked, but as long as you're not disliked on a super speedway, if you're trusted somewhat, you're going to get people to follow you and push you. So I think Evan has that going for him, and he has a good shot at the checker flag tomorrow.
All right, so we have Evan and Dustin. Carl, you brought up a good point of I think you have to have a team. You did say not necessarily a 4-car team, but I do think you kind of had to be a part of a team at Super Speedways, Daytona and Talladega specifically, because otherwise you're behind the 8 ball. You don't have any friends necessarily right off the bat. And I wanted to go with Johnny Wood Jr. However, just want to clarify, Nick and Mason are full-time drivers.
They claim to be.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to go with Mason. Mason Halseman is my winner for tomorrow. I just remembered Super Speedway, excuse me, with him in the past of how strong he's been at them. He's very aggressive. He's a great pusher. Pushing doesn't necessarily get you the win. I do know off of several occasions he's pushed his teammate to the win at Daytona and blocked me out of stealing it. So based off of that, I'm going to go with Mason. However, it very well could be Carl, Richard, or Nick. Mason pushing y'all, but I'll go with Mason. I don't want to give y'all too much credit this early in the season. But yeah, so we will keep track of that, and we'll go week by week with that. The second thing we have to cover of not just this race, but the season. So I have 3 things I want to cover for our season predictions. The first thing I want to go over is how many different winners do you think we'll see this season? So how many races were we sitting at?
Were you at 18?
18, that sounds
Or is
right.
it 16?
I think it's 18. 6, 12, 18. Yep, 18.
I'm gonna say probably 7. I think with Gavin being part-time, it's like, like we said earlier, it's going to open up the door for a lot of drivers to get wins.
Yep.
And I mean, there's a lot of us that are strong at certain tracks that aren't strong otherwhere. So I can see
That's a
around
good number.
7. Yeah, I could see around 7 different drivers this season getting wins.
You know, just through the recruitment races and seeing who we have, Gavin being part-time, obviously that's gonna leave the door open for a lot of guys, but I know Adam puts in the elbow grease. He practices as much as he can, so I know he's gonna get. I think he's gonna be on another multi-win season. But I actually think out of the 18 races, I think we're actually gonna get 8 different winners.
Yeah. I really wanted to go right in between. I want like 7.5. Like, it seems so perfect. Like.
Well,
looking over
and
this
we've hit on it.
roster.
We have a dirt race. We have a couple road
Mhm.
courses. We have Indy. We have super speedways. We have short courses. It's a whole hodgepodge of who's who in the racing.
Yeah.
You know, asphalt, dirt, you name it. It's there. So it leaves the door open for so many new talents to make a name for themselves and get that checkered flag and that win sticker on the
That
column
win
there.
sticker.
So that win
Dude,
sticker.
that win sticker is so cool. I love that.
Oh,
little addition
don't.
we did.
Ooh,
One
I'm
sticker,
hungry.
No meatball sticker.
I'm.
No meatball stickers this season, guys. No meatball. Sorry, Brendan. I know you love that meatball sticker, but
Oh
Hey,
man.
don't worry, I have a meatball sticker on my car for tomorrow, so we'll be good. But shoot, yeah. Hey, we'll have a winner in half the race. New winner in half the races this year. We'll have
Yeah.
9 winners this year. 9 different
That's
winners.
a good. That's a good one.
It's just I can't go under 6. Doesn't seem like enough for the amount of talent that we have.
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Because I think last season we had 5 or 6, right?
Mm-hmm. Because you won one, Adam won one.
I won 2.
Ronnie,
Get it right.
you
Come on
okay?
now.
You're right. Well, I'm just thinking of the winners in general.
Yeah.
Gavin, Adam, yourself, Ronnie Norman,
Richard.
Richard. There was one more I thought.
That might have been it. No.
Maybe. It couldn't have been that.
Let me
Well,
go back real quick.
if we had 18 races last season, and I think Gavin won 10, that leaves 8 other races. You won 2, Adam won 2, so there's 4. So yeah,
Ronnie won
Richard
2 or 3.
and Ronnie. So yeah, I think that is actually it. 5 winners last season.
I still don't believe this for some reason. Where did my? I can't even find it. Oh, there it is.
Everyone's racing right now, so they can't.
Yeah, they can't
let us know.
chime in.
Oh
Richard,
man.
Gavin. Yeah, it must have been 5. But like I there's no way something similar is happening again. There's definitely
no.
more. 7 is minimum.
No, not this year. Yeah.
But all right, so that is that. So you're asking why I have this whiteboard up in the bottom left corner of the stream, and there are 10 spots under each of our names. Any guesses what we're doing here?
I think
Chase.
so.
Chase contestants.
We are going to be giving our season predictions for not necessarily just Chase participants. However, this is going to be in order of how you think the final standings will pan out.
The final
Okay.
standings.
Okay.
Oh my geez, you're
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So it's 2 birds with 1 stone. It's your 10 Chase drivers and how they're going to shake out.
Damn.
So we'll go 1 by 1, starting from 10 and work our way to 1. Or
Oh,
you want to
geez.
go from 1 to 10. I just think there would be more suspense going from 10 to 1.
Flip a coin.
All right, we'll go 10 to 1.
Okay.
And Carl, I'm going to put you on the spot right away.
Okay.
Who is
Oh.
your number 10 driver?
Number 10, I'm gonna put up Patrick Hernandez. Because he hates all the tracks and he hates the car, but he'll make it somehow.
I'll make it somehow.
And then I'm going to add another driver in there of Brennan Maddox at number
I
9.
mean, you don't have to go to number 9. If I was just gonna go, all of us do 10, all of us do
Oh,
9.
oh, okay. I wasn't
But-
sure if we were going one at a time or.
That's fair.
Anyway, keep going. Then,
Okay.
then I guess I got my 10.
Richard, I'm gonna have you go.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna have to open up my Discord and see
Yeah,
who's
sorry.
actually in the
Give you that
channel.
extra-
I know, right? I'm trying to look at all the drivers right now, and like,
Hey, I tried to share y'all what's it called, a script earlier. You didn't think it was gonna be this much, but I came prepared today.
Well, debatable.
I just never thought
I
about
came
putting
late,
like
but I came
I didn't-
prepared.
I didn't think about like the top 10 of what I think for the end of the season. I guess that's.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You're gonna hurt some people's feelings here,
4, 4.
and you got to be okay with that.
11.
That's what I live for.
My
And
gosh.
most of the time, I just hurt myself.
I'm gonna put. I'll put myself at 10. I'll put myself at number 10. I feel that like I'm still struggling with trying to get that end of race speed. And I don't know, like I always find a way to get myself taken out of a race somehow. So I'll probably have a few DNFs, not always due to my own fault, but but no, yeah, I'll say I'll put myself at 10th. I'll barely make it.
Okay, barely make it. Well, that doesn't mean you'll barely make it, but who knows? Maybe you'll go into the chase first seed and fall all the way to 10. Carl doesn't.
I
look too
appreciate the confidence, but
If that's the case, then I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Carl's like, I quit. I'm done iRacing.
I'm over it. I can't. He won a race. Now he's gonna go first seed. I can't handle it.
Oh my goodness, this is more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Steven, what the hell, man?
I'm gonna steal one from.
I came prepared.
Oops. Just because I came prepared doesn't mean I came with my list ready to go. I wanted to do it off the cuff,
Oh, that's
but
funny.
I will also go with Patrick Hernandez. Man, it's so hard to pick and choose once you're in this top 10 of. I feel
just
like
gets
we're
so
all
much more
so
difficult.
close. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're all so close. It's really picking at straws, and I mean, if we hurt someone's feelings, sorry, but it's
Well, I mean, we
Based
also
off
have
of
new
last
guys that we
season.
don't know how they race.
that is
so, like-
100% true. So I mean,
Like we've
completely
seen
honest.
a few of them in the recruitment races and the practice races, but I mean, it's definitely hard to pick a new name in the
Yeah.
in the league.
Oh goodness, it's difficult. All right, Carl, we're back to you. Your 9 spot.
Number 9. Number 9. Do.
Bro.
Let's see. Number 9. You know, I'm gonna put Jamie Plord on there at number 9. Just because the support group of Next Level Motorsports, you have Gavin in there with you guys. I think, and Jamie is pretty decent, at least in the long run, as long as he keeps himself out of trouble. I feel like he and I have the same issue where we just can't qualify to save our life. And so that actually hurts us a lot of times just because we're kind of in the middle of the mess. But I think Jamie has a shot of being in that 9th spot at the end of the season.
Well, Richard, I hate to take your turn, but I'm actually also going to go Jamie, and I'll just bite the bullet now because that was my pick right there anyways. So I'm just copying Carl as it goes.
Great minds think alike, Steven.
That's how I graduated school, just copying off the person next to me. So,
Fake it till you make it, right?
yeah, but no, I think Jamie's a great addition, and with our support, he should have a great season, and hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully it's
Let's make it a
better,
hat. Let's make it a hat trick. Jamie Plord, I pick you as number 9 as well.
but there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we've raced with him in a few seasons before. Great guy. He's got some good skill there. Just needs some consistency. I think is really what really hurts him sometimes. So I think being able to have some actual teammates with him, talking to him through the race, I think he's going to be a little bit more consistent, and I think he'll be able to pull out number 9 there.
Very fair, very fair. Carl, instead of going back to you, we'll go with Richard. We'll go inverse.
Okay.
Next one, Richard. Come on.
Carl Pooler.
Carl Bowler.
At 8, huh? Although I guess I did kind of fall off in the last half of the season last.
Yeah,
last
and that's
season.
the thing, Carl. You start out strong, and then like the end of the
Yeah.
season, you start getting like into your head. You get frustrated.
You get tired. You
Um,
just
Yeah,
wanna get
that's-
away from us.
So
No, actually that's the exact opposite. I maybe put too much. I'm like, I just want to get my win, get
Oh,
my
that's
points.
definitely
and,
a thing. There's definitely
Yeah.
pushing too hard.
And I think that's what happened at the end of last season, because I remember the first half of the season, I was top 4, top 5. I had 4 fourth
Yeah.
place finishes in a row. And then the second half of the season, it was all downhill.
Oh, I wouldn't say it was just like that, all downhill. It's
Well,
still very consistent. Unfortunately,
You were
when we
still-
got to the chase, it just
Yeah.
magnified
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
But with number 8, I'm going Richard. I'll give you a little bit more credit than you're giving yourself. Again, it's going to be a knockout, brawl out, all out, every kind of out from 1 through 10 here. But you'll definitely make it and give a battle. It's really going to just depend on when we get to the chase. Are we going to have 12 drivers each week? Are we going to have 13 drivers each week? The more drivers, the more unpredictability there becomes. So I'm excited to see what happens there.
yeah, I'm hoping this season's different. I hope we can maintain, a good car count, good driver count,
Yeah.
even through the chase. Because I know, I get it. We all get it. When the chase happens and you're not there for that championship,
It's
it's
tough.
like, why am I showing up? It's like, my mindset is I'm here for practice. Like, yeah, I might not be racing for the championship, but I'm still racing for a race win. I'm still racing to improve my skill. I'm still getting practice in, racing around people. Like, that's my mindset. Like, I know it's like I take this a little seriously versus it's whatever.
And I'm going to add on top of that, Richard, is I love racing with you guys. Tuesday nights when we get going are my favorite nights. I absolutely love my Tuesday nights. The old
Those are
adage,
your
a bad day
Thursdays?
racing. Well, Thursdays are okay. It's a nice, chill kind of
We
stuff.
have to
but
deal with you on a more personal basis, Borabel. Of
Oh,
course,
man.
Thursdays aren't our favorite.
I mean,
you
you
get to feel
can't
like
even.
my wife.
You can't even have your letters on your hat right, so that just
No,
underlines
right?
the tone for Thursday. Exactly. But no, it's a bad day racing is better than a good day at work, and I kind of live that. So I really enjoy. I really hope we have the car count carry over into the chase. But with that, I'm gonna roll into my 8th pick, and I'm gonna go a little off track here, and I'm gonna say Johnny Wood Jr. Seeing his speed, I think earlier in the season he's gonna have a little bit of a rough patch, just gauging how everyone drives. But mid season he's gonna find his form, and I think he's gonna get in there.
Okay, the first new driver in here. Well, sorry, Jamie's not a new driver. He joined last season.
He's
late last
no,
season.
well, he's
Late
joined
last
late
season.
last season. I'd
Okay.
consider him a rookie for this season. So.
Yeah.
Let me do a final count to make sure I have this planned out correctly.
I'm just going
Uh-oh.
off the seat of my seat, man. Like,
Where is that roster? It was right there, wasn't it?
I
well, if
unfortunately
you have the
don't.
draft pulled up,
Yes, if you have the draft pulled up, you have the roster pulled up.
names might be misspelled, but whatever.
Oh, Teams and roster was hiding.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have room for Johnny Wood Jr., and that's no discredit to him. I have heard good things about him so far in the recruitment races, and he will not, unfortunately, be on my list, but that does not mean anything, obviously. This is just based off my current knowledge. And with that, Carl, we're going to go hit you back again and give us your 7.
Ooh, number 7 coming in. Brendan Maddox. He is quick. He kind of lacks the long run. I feel like he pushes a little hard in the earlier parts of the race, but he's aggressive. He will make the move if you leave an opportunity open, and he's not afraid to do it. He also likes to side drive pretty aggressive, so he's definitely kind of epitomizes that checkers or wreckers, but I do see him getting into the chase, and I think a 7 is a good spot for him.
No, it's a really good spot, and you brought up checkers or wreckers. That is what I think of Brendan. Granted, he hasn't unfortunately won yet with MBRB Racing League or the Butt Kicker Cup Series. Sorry, but I feel like it's coming for him. I feel like he has improved a lot. I feel like he's gotten a lot quicker. It's just going to be if he can keep it clean, then he has a real shot, and that's why I'm torn here. I'm not stalling at all.
Well, if you're stalling, I'll go and pick my pick.
Go for it.
Mason Hossman. I know he's got the skill. I know he's got the speed. Just needs to that level-headedness is what hopefully me and Carl can help bring to him. But I think he can. I think he's going to be a really good competitor this season. I think he can pull out at least P7, at the very least P7 in the points.
I agree. If he qualifies for the chase because he runs enough races, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
He is a top 5 driver on a bad day. My concern with him is I don't know of his level of commitment. I haven't spoken with him much lately, so I don't have a good gauge of that. But for sure, if he runs the full season, he's a top name and someone we got to watch out for. Well, yeah, I guess y'all don't have to watch out for him. He's on your team, but you might have to watch out
more
for him.
reason we have to watch out for him. Exactly.
I was about to say. You never know. Limitless likes to wreck each other.
Oh.
With my 7, I'm going to go Evan Patinko. And this is not a knock on him. He is a very consistent driver. I feel like he remains clean all the time. However, that can lead to not getting a position or two where it matters to bump him up to 5th or 4th or even higher in the standings. I think 7 is his floor. Is how far down he would finish in the chase, but he can finish as high up as 1 or 2 as well. So that's that. That's my reasoning there. But Richard, who's your 6?
Let's see. 6th, I'm gonna have to go with Jared Hughes. I think he's got really good speed. He's definitely finished up there before, but with the last 5 that I have to pick, I think that's a good spot where he's going to fall.
Yeah, that's fair. Jared's very quick and clean most of the time, unless I wreck him. I feel like I'm the one that ends up wrecking Jared more than anything. But thankfully, Jared and I have a good relationship with each other.
I
It's
stole
all
the
fun
win
and-
from him away also.
That too. So he's not salty about it at all, I'm sure.
Not at all.
He can guarantee he has that track circled on the schedule.
Oh, I guarantee you he does.
With 6, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Carl. And Carl, it's because of how you ended last season.
Yeah, that's fair.
You hovered around that 4-5, 3-4-5, right? For
Yeah.
the majority of the season, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can't do it, but show it to me.
Yeah, I feel that. Trust me, I got to show it to myself too. But for my 6, I'm going to pick Richard there. I think he's Richard. You're strong on dirt, so I have high hopes for Eldora, and I think we've been pushing each other and making each other better. So I think you're going to have a better showing this season. As long as there's not any unforeseeable circumstances, I think you can go deep into this playoffs.
Yeah, my health issues.
Anything unforeseen, who knows?
I got a handicap this season, guys.
Don't we all?
Physical, okay?
What is
That's fixable,
Where is it?
okay? That's fixable.
Let me
Alright.
pull up a picture of Adam's arm.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man.
Holy cow, dude.
Yeah, that.
That's why Adam's not going to win Daytona.
Next level injured reserved.
Good luck, Jamie. You're on your own on this one.
No, we have Gavin tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Gavin's going to show up for the opener.
I mean, he's got to. It's the Sundance Pizza 250.
He's
Exactly.
gotta.
But
Gotta come up with that Sundance scheme.
all right, Carl. Top 5.
Oh man. Not to be that guy,
No pressure.
but I am definitely choosing myself in 5. I'm motivated from my disappointment of last chase. I have gotten some practice in doing it in another league, so I'm trying to expand my repertoire of tracks and just become more grounded in the car. So I have a lot of pressure on myself. I'm ravenous for a win. I have not a league win at all in my career. And I told myself I was getting one last season, and it didn't happen. So I'm going to carry that into this season.
I think whenever that happens for you, because it will happen at some point, and I feel like this season is a good chance for that to happen for you, the weight of the world will come off your shoulders.
Oh man!
And at that point, you can really just focus on driving and getting good finishes, and you don't have to push that extra for the win. And that might be a really big blessing for you in that scenario. So I'll be curious.
Fingers crossed.
I hope it happens for you. I mean, we're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
But with number 5, I'm going to go with the Checkers or Records himself, Brendan Maddox. 5 is a perfect spot for him of being able to win a race or being able to finish last in a race. So just right in the middle. He has shown a lot of improvement in my eyes, at least from what I've seen lately. It's just getting that car control in place. If he can do that, he can do well. Richard, who are you looking at 5?
This is gonna be probably a long shot. This is definitely a gamble roll, but based on the recruitment races, seeing how fast this guy has been, I really think he's going to be a high contender. I'm gonna have to say Johnny Wood Jr.
All right.
So I think he's going to figure out how a lot of us drive, learn how to drive around us very quick. I mean, he already pretty much has. So, and he's already fast. Like he's a little worrisome fast, but
yeah, he's quick.
But yeah, no, I feel he can make top 5 easy.
Good deal. Who you got at 4 then, Richard? Back to back.
4. Okay, cool. Let's go. Evan Patinko.
Evan Patinko at 4.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Evan Patinko at 4. He's gotten a lot quicker as well. So I think really the only thing that I've really noticed with him is kind of like along my lines also is just the tire saving. I think if he can nail that down a lot better, he's going to be a real big contender this season.
Yeah, I like the pick. And at my number 4, I'm gonna go Jared Hughes. Jared's been real quick ever since he came in the league, and he's gotten more consistent as time has gone on. So I'm looking for him to build off of that and get into the win column this season as well.
Oh, decisions. I'm gonna pick Evan as well there, for all the right reasons that Richard just said. I think Evan is right there. If he can just figure out a couple nuances on some of these tracks, he's there, and he can go deep into the playoffs this year. The chase,
Definitely. So Limitless is big on Evan Patinko this year. Like to see it.
It almost seems like we're racing around him one way or the other. It's ridiculous.
It is. I'm always around him also. It's
So I think I'm going to do the back-to-back because I was just doing this. But Mason Houseman in 3rd.
Okay.
He does have that speed. He needs to get used to these cars again. But if he can commit, like everyone's saying, he can really go far and get some points for himself and the team.
At number 3, I'm going to go, if I can highlight, Dustin Stallings. He very well could win it all this year. He's got the speed. He's now showing it with the win in the recruitment race this past week. Intermediates, he's quick. Short tracks, he's quick. Road courses, he has some good pace. Super speedways, I haven't seen it necessarily from him. However, he didn't really have much of a team help last year with their team at Maverick Motorsports this season. There's a lot more potential there. He's a very well-rounded driver, and he'll definitely be in the final mix of it all. So
All right, these final three is going to be. It's really hard. I know my final three. It's hard to put them in the order that I want them in. Buzzio. Definitely, it's not a knock on how fast he is, how strong he is by any means, but based on the performance last season with how well Borbell was driving all season, I feel like it's really hard for these final three, man. Like, I know who they are. I know who I want them to be. But I think Adam Buzzio, I mean, second or third, but I'm going to have to say third for him.
fair. All right, Richard, you're back at number 2.
Oh, man. Yep, number 2. Who was it? Dustin Stallings. I think Dustin Stallings showed phenomenal, like we said, phenomenal improvement last year.
Yep.
Last season. He's still showing great improvement in the recruitment races, and he's been up there challenging Adam left and right. So Dustin Stallings has got to be my number 2 pick.
Very good. With number 2, I'm going myself. I have myself at number 2 just because I still feel like Adam is. He's always been just a fraction above me at certain tracks, and he understands how to drive the car in certain instances better than I do, whether it's saving it for a long run or tweaking the brake bias a certain way. So I give him that advantage over myself that I'm still learning, but either way.
Well, my next 2 picks are going to be easy. Steven, I am going to name you at 2. Just because of what you did last season. I know you and Adam had that dogfight for that second and third spot for the last season, and that actually is my number 1 too. Adam's going to go home with the trophy. He puts into the work. He loves the racing. He understands it. He can tire save. He's quick on the short run. I think the only thing Adam can do wrong is maybe strategy, but I mean, strategy could be a shot in the dark half the time. So other than that, I was looking at this list and I'm just realizing, like, there's no way I can get all the people that I think may actually be in there. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, no. We're all going to be 100% wrong at the end of the season regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to be curious of it. Obviously, my number 1 is also Adam. Just going based off of also what I said. Carl, what you said about his strategy is I do wish, Adam, if you're listening to this, I do wish you take a little bit more of my strategy this season, any of my strategy calls that I make, because I do think sometimes you are literally just a strategy away from winning a race. You're always up there, but if your strategy was just maybe a little bit different, sometimes you would get that little extra edge in a win or two. Or maybe I don't want you to take that strategy this season with us being so close. But no, honestly, like it's good because Adam and I feel like we race so similar, but our strategies can vary so significantly, and that's you get both sides of it. So I feel like that's why. I mean, and obviously we had Gavin last season, but that's why Next Level won so often. I feel like we all had different strategies, so we covered every possible outcome, and one of us was just at top at the end. But yeah, I see Adam as our champion this season.
Gavin Rogers. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally Borbell, I want to put you up there, man. I think, I agree with you. Adam probably, it's so hard, man. Like, it really is. I don't know. I just feel like the amount you got better over the season last season was like Adam. He did get good. He got better, but like Adam was Adam. Like I knew that's how he was going to race. I knew that's how he was going to, run. But seeing you perform the way you did last season compared to other seasons I've raced with you was just leaps and bounds improved. And I think that can just keep going, especially if you guys start bouncing off strategies a little bit better. I think you and Adam are going to be neck and neck, especially with the Dustin Stallings beating and banging each other, going to that checkered flag. So, but I see you being the regular season champion.
Well, thank you. I really look forward to this season. It's going to be so tough. The skill gap is just razor thin.
It just seems they're all on top of each other.
Yes.
It's gonna be kind of ridiculous. And honestly, it's gonna be strategy and the track. Who's better at that particular track that week?
And what better place to start it off than a super speedway at Daytona?
Woo-wee.
But no, I'm super excited to get this going and for us to be able to cover the whole season this season on the Holler podcast. Getting to do this every week and recap each week and give a meatball of the week to Brendan each week and go from there. But I will save this and I will post this into our Discord, and Richard, feel free to post it on our Twitter if you would like. Totally up to you. We'll keep a pin in this for now and see who did the best and who did the worst at the end of the season. But man, we got a long season ahead of us. But
Yeah, we do.
I don't have any other topics for tonight. Do y'all have anything you want to add before I give our sign off?
We need someone to give us the command or something, because that's what I feel like. Let's start our engine. Let's go.
Wait,
I know,
I
right?
don't have something up I can pull up. I was going to do
Oh,
something,
that's
but
fine.
I'll have it ready for tomorrow for us.
Yeah, I will touch this though, guys. If you are listening, go ahead and follow us on our socials. Also, we are on Twitter as well, or X, whatever you want to call that social media site. So, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. Go follow it all. Keep up to date with all the Holler podcast information and Butt Kicker Cup Series BRB Racing League information as well.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us for episode 1 of season 2 of the Holler podcast. Please be sure to like and share the podcast. Just a reminder, we can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and now on YouTube. And you can rewatch any of the broadcast or live streams, whatever you want to call these things. On YouTube, they will be saved on our YouTube channel, The Holler Podcast, for you to view at any time. A full video version. I know some of y'all had been wanting that, and to get off of Facebook is a big thing because I know that's a blocker for some. But just an update on that. If you have any questions and you would like us to answer it, we have not received a question in a season of doing this, but I'm still going to keep asking, just in case someone has a question out of the blue. If you have a question, please send us an email at brbracingleagues, that's leagues with an S, at gmail.com, and we will answer it on the following week's show. Also want to thank Butt Kicker, Sundance Pizza, Ascendance Trucks, and Idealies for supporting BRB Racing League and the Butt Kicker Cup Series. Be sure to tune into Extreme Sim TV's YouTube channel tomorrow. We will post the links on our socials tomorrow once they become available for the Sundance Pizza 250 at 9 p.m. Eastern. And Carl and Richard, thank you again for joining. It was great seeing you guys after a long off season, and good luck tomorrow and good luck this season. Looking forward to it.
You too, Steven. I hope
And also
I
just
see you
a-
in my mirror a lot.
Yeah, right. Also, just a big old shout out, Borbell. You did have something huge happen over the off season. Congratulations, newlywed.
Thank you. I am now married. Got my big old fat ring on my finger finally. After buying 2 rings, I got one of my own. But no, thank you. It was a lot of fun. Had a fun off season. Moved from Texas, now out in Tennessee, and married. Just got both dogs out here now, so we got a full house now. But yeah,
I guess you finished one lap and on to your next lap, right?
Yeah. No longer on my last lap.
Oh,
NASCAR Race Hub is though.
Oh, I know. That's gonna be funny.
That's a story for next week.
Next, or later this week.
This
I
week,
guess.
you mean?
Oh goodness, we'll see. All right, guys. Thank y'all again, and thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all tomorrow at Daytona. Bye, y'all.